No, for sure. Yeah. I'll definitely, I'll take care of that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, take care. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. You actually just caught me on the phone. Oh, this is so embarrassing. With the president of the United States. And not that fake president that all mainstream news is giving you. No. I was on the phone with the real president of the United States. Skunk ape. Alright, it's great to be back, to see you all again. It's been approximately 12 years since my last upload, and I'm glad that I have to start every video referencing how long it takes for me to make the next one. That's good on my self-esteem. Let's talk about something that definitely still holds cultural relevance in the current year. I want to talk about network television. Back when I was just like a wee lad, I watched a lot of television. Right when I got back home from school, it was straight over to that brick of a TV, throwing up channel 25 YTV with my main man Carlos to watch the wacky hijinks of my main man the SpongeBob. TV was kind of all you had for entertainment at the time. Like, streaming wasn't really a thing yet, so your best options were to own like a certain piece of media on DVD, or if we go back far enough, VHSs, which for the youngins watching the video are like little plastic bricks that have Land Before Time put onto them by a wizard. So really, you were at the mercy of whatever the hell was on TV for the most part, and that was kind of the fun part of TV. It kind of forced you out of your comfort zone. You had to, unfortunately, or sometimes fortunately, just watch what you were shown. Like, today, we're so overwhelmed with choice. There are times where I will be scrolling through Netflix longer than the time I spend watching what I decide upon finally. So in a way, I'm almost nostalgic for that choice being taken out of my hands. There's so much stuff I have to worry about. What I watch? Sure. Take it away, network television. Anyways, as I was a kid, my dad really liked doing the dad thing and just sort of zoning out on the couch watching TV, and his favorite shows to put on were what I would describe as educational adjacent television. What I mean by that is shows where you could kind of trick yourself into thinking you were learning something. The cream of the crop of the genre I just made up was Mythbusters, because that show is, to a certain extent, very genuinely educational, on top of just, you know, also blowing a bunch of shit up.
3, 2, 1, 0.
So you know what I mean by educationally adjacent. You're here for the explosions and shit, but they will, like, say a math formula at you at some point in the series. So I'd sit down on the couch with my dad and watch a lot of these kinds of shows, and one always stuck out with me, and that's the series I want to talk about today. That show is
Deadliest Warrior.
This show is fucking unhinged. Let's get into it. So Deadliest Warrior ran 2009 to 2011. It only lasted 3 juicy seasons, and that was it. It was on the Spike Network, which gave us such beautiful hit shows as Manswers.
Can you fart so hard your balls explode?
Go watch Kurtis Connor's video, and if you have seen it, you know exactly the kind of energy we're getting ourselves into with this show. So the concept is that these 3 chuckle fucks take 2 warriors from throughout history or modern day and just sort of try and scientifically, objectively discern which one of them would be the
Deadliest Warrior.
So yeah, to a 10-year-old, it's kind of the fucking coolest show ever. I'm sorry. There's an episode where they make a ninja and a Spartan fight. Hello? CEO of the Oscars for television, we have the winner for all of your awards, says I, 10-year-old Lucas. What's that? You're called the... They're not called the Grammys. What are they called? The Streamies? What's the Oscar show called? I can't remember. Not the Oscars for the TVs. What are they called? I can't remember. Golden Globe? Is that it? Now, as a kid, I was, like, strangely convinced that the weird scientific slant that the show was taking was, like, 100% totally legit. In reality, though, it's just total fucking bullshit. They decide who's the deadliest warrior by comparing the effectiveness of different weapons and armor, and then they introduce a bunch of what they call X factors, which are like tactics, strategies, historical context, other extenuating factors that in some way might incorporate itself into whether or not they would win. Then they take all of these and boil them down into a numerical value soup and plug all of that into, I shit you not, a modified video game engine, and then just let that fucker churn for like 1,000 rounds, and whoever comes out at the end with the most wins is dubbed
Deadliest Warrior.
So right off the bat, you're probably immediately noticing a few issues with the objective scientific slant they attempt to take. That being how fucking subjective this all is. I can't tell you how many times I'd see someone pull off some cool sword shit and be like, that's some cool sword shit. And then the next guy would go and pull off less impressive cool sword shit. But all the judges would be like, that's cooler sword shit, therefore you win. And I'm like 10 years old sitting on the couch like, no, clearly his dumb cool sword shit was better than his dumb cool sword shit. So, objective. How they do this is they bring in a respective expert for both sides, and they have them essentially pitch their arguments for why their warrior is the better warrior. They do some cuts and some backflips and whatever, and then the judges decide who was more impressive, who gave the better pitch. So it's kind of like Dragon's Den if the product they were pitching was Attila the Hun. It's insane. But it's really the people that make it. Everyone plays it completely straight. Like, it's the most fucking epic, awesome, scientifically sound, life-changing shit ever put to TV. Not only that, they are all the most LA motherfuckers I have ever seen in my entire life. The experts they get to back each of the warriors as well are so insanely confrontational and aggressive about it. It is an extremely weird energy to have on daytime television. But it's also so purely 2010s era culture in the most hilarious ways that I think it could kind of be the nostalgic throwback that we all need in these insane times. So I thought we'd watch an episode together, and I'll sort of show you what I'm talking about as we go through. The episode we're going to be looking at is Yakuza versus Mafia from the first season, and I think it exemplifies everything I just said. So let's just get into it. Let's just get into it.
The Mafia.
So first off, we got my boy Jeffrey Desmoulins, who is a biomedical engineer, and it seems like his job on set is more or less to just sort of look at shit and go, yeah, that hurt.
Man, what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rounds in this guy. Most of them in the chest, the rest of them in the face.
So what do you guys think? Any of these boys making it home?
No. None whatsoever.
That hurt, dude.
That's crazy, right? That's crazy fast. Yeah.
If you got hit by a baseball bat, it would hurt. Also, apparently he's a black belt, so that's tight, I guess.
Scientist and karate black belt Jeff Desmoulins.
Then we got Dr. Armand Dorian, who is a medical doctor, and his job is basically the same as Jeff's, but he says medical shit on top of it hurt.
ER trauma doctor Armand Dorian will give his medical opinions about these vicious attacks.
This guy's disoriented, and you know what? This guy's dead.
Last but not least, we got my boy Max Geiger, who is this 20-year-old LA kid that puts the numbers into the video games and otherwise is just sort of there as like a young hype man for everyone.
You've completely incapacitated at least one person here, whereas the other 2 or 3 would have a very hard time getting out and drawing pistols.
Right, because they're just stunned.
Exactly.
They keep literally every single one of the judges except for this dude in the later seasons, like past season 1, I think. So sorry, Max, that's rough, bud.
Hacksaw?
Hacksaw.
I'm not convinced you're going to maintain the internal ballistics.
Oh, trust me. This thing, 2 shots.
Okay, I need to point out that we are literally 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the episode, and they have used this exact same sound effect
The Yakuza, merciless killers
like 4 times already.
to rule the backstreets of 1940s Japan. Simulate a fight to the death and decide who is 5 Yakuza gangsters.
I feel like I'm going insane. Anyway, that's our panel of judges. Now we're gonna meet our respective experts, starting with my boy, Joe Ferrante, who is listed as a mafia weapons expert, which is so fucking vague, my guy. Just the absolute most Italian motherfucker I have ever seen in my entire life. He looks like who you would cast as mafia member number 4 in like a shitty History Channel drama. Then we got my boy, the motherfucking Thomas Bonanno, who is listed as a historian. Okay, that's less vague, thanks. And a mafia descendant? Okay, dude. They say it's like his cousin, who apparently was head of the family that inspired the Godfather films.
Tommy's cousin was Joe Bonanno, head of one of the original 5 families, and the inspiration for the title role in the movie The Godfather.
So cool. Big fucking get for Deadliest Warrior. This guy looks like the dude who would play the Don in that same History Channel drama. It's wild. They just be like this. I don't know why it's so funny to me. They're so Italian. Oh, they also keep cutting to these, like, dramatic reenactment type moments, and they look so cheap and lazy, and they just keep reusing the footage over and over again. It's so fucking choice.
All right, if you go up to anyone in America and say, have you heard of the Mafia? They're going to say yes. Are they deadly? Yes. Are they warriors? Yes. What about the Yakuza? Who?
Hey, dude. Yeah, fucking course. If you go up to anyone in America and ask them about the American Mafia or the crime syndicate in Japan, chances are they're gonna be a bit more familiar with the local thing, right? Like, that's not weird, is it? Also, are they deadly? Yes. Are they warriors? Yes. So fucking funny to break down the name in that regard like a checklist. Are we deadly? Yep. Are we warriors? Yep. It's in the name. We're the we win. It's in But also, who the fuck thinks of the Mafia as warriors? Who looks at Marlon Brando and is like, oh man, that's a warrior, dude? It's just all around strange, and it's really emblematic of one of the funniest parts of this whole show. Just how deadly serious everyone takes everything. This is a dumb TV show for dude bros, and they all talk like they're in a fucking heated personal argument. The juxtaposition is so wild. It's so funny.
Easily cuts down this single target with a hail of bullets. But what?
Alright, anyways, let's keep going. These episodes are an hour fucking long. So, we got on the Yakuza side a black belt named Zero Kazama. Badass name. Okay, cool. And he's listed as a Yakuza weapons expert. Again, whatever the fuck that means. We then also get Old Man Yakuza descendant and historian David Kono. So again, we have like this young hothead and old respected historian dynamic going on both sides, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking into this too deep, but having people that supposedly, as I'm being told by the show, have real ties to these real crime syndicates that commit real crimes and atrocities and violence against people en masse throughout history, and then being like, yeah, we rock, we're gonna win, we're the best. It's strange. It's just kind of weird, I think.
David's father worked for the Yakuza, and his family has ties to the organization dating back to the samurai era.
We're so much stronger.
Okay, so now we get to the part of the show that I loved as a kid, just shooting the shit out of some stuff. And you know what? still pretty fucking cool. It's still pretty cool. But realistically, what are they testing here? Usually it's like medieval weapons and swords and shit, so they test out like different cases where certain weapons may or may not be more useful than others, how sharp, durable it is maybe. But this is a fucking gun. Like, you're testing if a gun can kill. I'm glad we checked that box off. Shit, I wouldn't have known otherwise. Oh shit, they killed fucking David Bowie.
Barrel smoking.
So as you can see, it's literally like a Dragon's Den pitch for murder. And then it just boils down to personal preference on who murdered better, because the nerd dude's just like, well, Yakuza gun make bang, but Mafia gun go boom, so...
The Sten makes a bang, but the Tommy gun makes a boom. I'm gonna have to give the edge to the Thompson submachine gun.
And just like that, they edge the Mafia guys. Okay, so then they move on to like bombs or whatever.
Because a ceramic grenade was an explosive part.
There's this part that like really demonstrates how awkward the energy is throughout the show, as I've been saying.
Gentlemen, Molotov cocktail.
Nice.
3, 2, 1.
I think they got the message down.
They got the picture. They
That was badass, man.
That was a good throw, wasn't it?
I guess what's really good to know is how quickly the heat built up in that car.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have had to bail immediately or you're a dead man.
That's right.
I don't even know if you'd have enough time to get out of
You
there.
can't get out.
Yes.
You don't get
As soon
out.
as it was thrown, like the whole bottom covered in flame.
Yeah, you don't get out.
Yeah.
So Jeff's trying to compliment them on how cool their Molotov is by being like, damn, you'd have to bail instantly to like survive that. And immediately the Mafia dude's like, no, shut up, you can't, you die, fuck off. Like I can't quite explain it, but something about that energy is really nuts to me. It's like playground pretend bickering, but about murder, my guy.
I'm giving the edge to the ceramic grenade.
The Yakuza gets the edge in explosives for the ceramic grenade.
Okay, so the Yakuza get edged for now with the ceramic grenade because it goes boom and makes people disoriented. Cool. So we continue on to close ranged weapons, and the Mafia has a fucking baseball, I guess?
Lugging power.
There's nothing better than taking a bat and just hitting the guy like this and coming back around. If it doesn't hurt him seriously, and he'll get the picture of whatever you're thinking about.
Holy shit, dude, you're unhinged? Fucking what? Okay, so they beat the shit out of the pig. And then this happens.
You're up next. Let's see what you got. See if you can be the hero.
We can do
hero.
the same thing without a weapon. These are just to distract you while I break you with my foot.
Lay off the sake, brother. Chill out.
What the fuck is going on, dude? Oh no. They take it so personally. It is so uncomfortable. Why did he have to get a bit racist too? Like it... Oh, and it's always like this in every episode. This is how they behave. I guess because like the nerdy, good-natured fun of Mythbusters wouldn't work with Spike TV's whole like brand.
Can you fart so hard your balls explode?
So they opted out for this like extremely odd dick-sized competition energy, where the competitors are always like ready to actually fucking kill each other. It's not fun to watch. It's not entertaining. It's just fucking weird and uncomfortable. But I do lose my shit every time it happens. So there's that. Then he kicks the pig.
Body.
So the Yakuza respond with nunchucks, which, fun fact, are illegal where I live in Canada, along with pepper spray and tasers. Cool. Awesome, Canada. Great laws. Fucking... Okay, so they show off the nunchucks. They slap this gelatin dude just fucking silly and kill him.
Go, yeah!
And they're like, I don't know, seems like too many hits.
It does worry me, though, that you have to take 2 to 3 even 4 swipes at it before you're sure of what your handiwork has done.
Well, it ain't a baseball bat.
As if you're gonna get hit with like the first strike and just keep on fucking trucking unless you die instantly. Okay. And then they let the mafia dude take over like the whole test and swing his bat again at the already nunchuck mutilated gelatin corpse.
Side raises the stakes.
That good enough?
And they're like, wow, look at that damage. When it looks exactly as pulped as it did before.
It definitely does a lot of trauma. I mean, the bat breaks bones. I gotta go with the bat.
The Mafia takes the edge in close combat weapons.
And then they edge the mafia dude again. Like, as... Like, Jesus fucking Christ, if it's gonna be this kind of blatantly obvious that it's all opinion-based and none of it is scientific or objective in any way, why even go about pretending that it is? Why not just sort of embrace the sort of framing of, like, the playground argument? Like, why not embrace that kind of fun energy of my sword's sharper than yours? Why do you have to, like, treat it so seriously?
The problem here is that people started to get greedy. Because if one guy slights the other guy, you got a big war.
It's just got so much my dad can beat up your dad energy going on. I don't know. Maybe I'm being weird. It just, I don't know. It makes me angry. It makes me angry that they take it this seriously when it's so silly. Anyway, so we got sidearms now, and the Yakuza, they have a pistol. The Mafia have a sawed-off shotgun, and I have played a lot of Doom and Doom-styled shooters, so I'm gonna say that the shotgun fucking has this one in the bag. I'm not getting into this, am I? I don't think I am. No, fuck Spike TV, no. Also, they use a different mannequin for, like, every single test. I don't know, it's just something I noticed. I have nothing meaningful to say about this. It just makes it seem like they have a huge warehouse filled with various dudes just to make a mess of, which is probably true. Okay, so Mafia gets edged once more. Please just let them finish. Because it's a sawed-off shotgun. Of fucking course, dude. Of course they won. I'm not getting into this. I'm not. So lastly, we have special weapons, which in this case is just more close-range hand-to-hand combat shit.
These kings of the underworld were also famous for their special weapons.
We got a little shaving knife.
Okay.
Knives are very good. Swords are still very good.
You know, all this is a silent 5 inches of depth.
I fucking love that the dude says 5 inches of death so coolly, and then they immediately follow it up with an infographic saying 6 inches. I don't know why that made me laugh so much.
You know, in our culture, we don't even shake hands, even with those we trust. What makes you think you're gonna get close enough to give us a kiss?
See, in our culture, surprise is part of the attack, so you'll find out soon.
Okay, again, what the fuck, man? Chill. Okay. So the Yakuza gets the edge here because the Mafia brought a fucking ice pick, and the Yakuza brought a sai, like a real weapon. Yeah, no shit. Like, now we're on to the part that they've been building up to. It's the real battle. Again, the calculations are just run in this fucking game engine, and it just spits out numbers. It's all just like data and whatnot. That's not any fun, so they have to dramatize it, and they do. And it looks horrible and cheap and cheesy in every way.
So let's fire it up.
It's just like the most boring shot choreographed fight scene ever. And you just have to like sit there and hold that so you can get the results at the end. Not to mention it barely even matters because it's not a real battle, obviously. It's a shitty show. So the fight itself is meaningless. You're literally just waiting to see who gets the final blow. It doesn't matter who seems to be winning at any given moment because they're always going to be dramatizing it. It's always going to come down to the wire. It'd be fucking boring if one of them just got washed. It has to come down to the final hit for epic style points. So it's basically just like the fight scene equivalent of white noise. Okay, so I am watching it back at 2x speed for these purposes. It's an hour long. I've seen it before. Chill. This part just really took me out at that speed. I just wanted to share that. Okay, did they make a fuss about how the bat only needs like one hit to do the job? That was like the whole thing with the bat efficiency argument. And that it drops the dude in like one hit and you move on. You have him... But why have him go to town and then drop the bat and fucking dip? Huh? Like what? Okay, so they pull this move where he shoves the dude's face into steam and burns him, but then he pulls the guy back and his face is fine. I guess they couldn't get too gory because daytime TV and whatever, but like then why even include that if it's gonna have like no effect on the guy whatsoever? Alright, whatever. Like I said, it's only the last 10 seconds that matter. And in the last 10 seconds, the Yakuza guy gets taken out by the Mafia dude with the ice pick, which they made a big deal about earlier being worse than the Sai. So, once again, literally nothing in this show matters or makes sense or builds on anything they ever say before it in any way. Why spend like 10 minutes showing and explaining that the ice pick is worse than the Sai, and then you get into the fight and you have the ice pick rocking the Sai? Like, why do you exist, Deadliest Warriors? Why are you here to torment me? Why are the episodes so long and yet nothing happens? Okay, yeah, so Mafia wins and the Yakuza come out with like a fucking scrub quote.
The Mafia may have won because of their firepower, but the honor, dedication, willpower, and discipline in real life would have carried the Yakuza on top.
Reached into their bag of Johns real quick. I'm just clowning. I was rooting for Yakuza 2. And that's the thing the show does to you. That's how they get you. It sucks so much. Like, it has so little substance. The tests are so poorly run that they hold no scientific or educational merit whatsoever. It's entirely a subjective procedure being served to us as objective, which is so frustrating. The presentation is so outdated and corny, and yet you still end up kind of picking sides. It definitely had its appeal based on like the playground arguments akin to like Goku versus Naruto and shit like that, those kinds of discussions. And no matter how bad the show is, at the end of the day, that premise is still going to kind of tickle the 10-year-old brain in me. Don't get it twisted. It sucks, but like a drunk watch with friends, and the show kind of becomes like the funniest shit ever. So that's really all I have to say about Deadliest Warrior. It's just a strange relic from like television long gone. I'd like to see the series come back in some sort of way, maybe as like a YouTube series or something streaming, because I feel like that would work really well for this format. I mean, look at like all the, again, like Goku versus Naruto type battles that you see on YouTube or were popular back in the day. I would like to see them bring it back for like YouTube or some shit, but keep like the exact same energy and presentation style and just how awkward it all is. Or see them try to adapt it to a 2021 market. I don't know. That could also be really funny. I don't know. A man can dream. Let's get the Kickstarter going, guys. Let's get something happening. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Look forward to new videos. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that dang bell so you know when those videos come out, because I don't have a consistent upload schedule yet, so that's probably a useful tool to use. If you liked the video, thought it was cool, give it a thumbs up, and if you dislike it and you thought it was a stinky little video, give it a thumbs down. Just a little smelly, stinky bad video. I still don't have an outro. Bye.